Women of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing a man wanted from you? Freshman year in college, a floor mate asked me to poo on a glass platter with him directly under the platter. He wanted to watch my sphincter pucker and release. 30 years later I still remember that moment. Being floor mates, I knew him to be odd and patted him on the back and said politely, pass. When I was on Tinder for a brief period a couple of years ago, I got asked by 3 guys consecutively to piss on them. I get that it's a thing, but 3 guys in a row is interesting. There's a Craigslist ad in my area. Man seeking female housemate. Free rent. Just one strange request. 2 of my female friends, months apart, responded to the ad wondering what the one catch request is. Dude wanted his female housemate to fart directly in his face on the daily. More hilarious than weird. Weirdly hilarious. I was walking home one day after university. I had to walk past a shopping center and a few homes. In between the shopping center and homes there's a path. Some guy was standing there and approached me. Then he asked, "Can I follow you home?" He was like a polite stalker. I declined his request. A guy on a dating site once offered me $10K to take the train down from Boston to New Jersey. Strap on stilettos and squash bugs in his backyard. He was very careful to say he wanted nothing illegal and I was welcome to bring whoever I needed to in order to feel safe. And to this day I wonder if I should have taken him up on it. My school loans would have appreciated it. When I was 15 I was walking around this outdoor mall with open-toe wedge sandals on. This guy that looked to be in his mid-40s stopped me and asked to take a picture of my feet. I didn't know what to say and just stood there looking at the dude. He squatted down and sort of cradled the top part of my foot where it meets the ankle. He then asked to suck on my precious toes. That freaked me out enough that I screamed and he got up and ran away. When I was 15 an older guy said he thought I would look beautiful with my lips sewn shut and asked if I would be willing to let him try. He was very sincere about it and it disturbed me a lot. He was a friend of a friend who I am no longer friends with for obvious reasons. Edit. A lot of people are saying he wanted me to just shut up. He was very much serious and had a reference photo of what he wanted to do. To wear a pair of stilettos while standing on his balls. I refused because I was afraid that would send him to the ER. Reading that made my balls migrate up into my throat. From guys around the world. Thank you for not doing that. A guy who looked to be in his 20s asked me for a picture of my hand. And I sent him one just because. It's a hand. What's he gonna do? He replied in frustration. No. Palm side up without polish. I had nail polish on. So he stopped talking to me altogether. Well, he wants a hand shot, not a dolled up WH Ray hand. As a former stripper. A lot of strange things. Mostly harmless. But I now know that there's a million different kinks out there. The 2 that stick out are the guy that wanted me to force him to go to the ATM. Make him take out $300 and pay me to step on his balls with my heels. The other was the quicksand dude. I had to whisper that I was sinking in quicksand and it feels so good. Edit. Thank you kind madam sir for my first gold. Quicksand. I've heard a lot of kinks. But quicksand is new to me. I wonder if it's like vor. A boy that rode my bus in high school snipped off a lock of my hair and put it in the plastic casing of his ID badge. He wore it for the rest of the year. He wanted me to wear swim goggles with the fronts cut out. Then have me look up at the ceiling while him and some other dudes came into the goggles. So basically the goggles would hold the cum and it would get all in my eyes. What the ever-loving FCK. Gotten a Cupid message. Hello, I am a doctor. Can I lick your belly button? I am a good doctor. Please show bobs and vagine. I had a guy send me a Facebook message asking for a video of me swallowing a whole boiled egg. I had a guy come up to me in the gym and ask if I would give him my bra or panties after I'd finished without washing them. I said no. I bet you could have gotten like $50 to $100 bucks for them each. Dudes are weird. This thread makes me feel normal. Just scream at his bare ass. Fuss our odor. Edit. Wow, my first gold. A guy I was talking to on a dating website wanted me to take medication that would induce lactation. He was really turned on by the idea. I didn't meet him but did talk to him for a bit longer because it was so weird and I wanted to understand what he was about. He ended up telling me that he was sterile and the idea of a pregnant partner was a turn on. I still feel sad for him. He wanted me and my girlfriends to spit on him and laugh. Dated one dude. The first time we got physical he took my panties off to go down on me and the first thing he did was turn them inside out and put them on his head. Is this a thing people do? I thought it was weird. Edit. Whoa. So many mixed opinions. To provide some more context, let me re-emphasize that this was our first time getting physical. He took my panties off, put them on his head, and then tried going down on me, but I was so distracted by the underwear on his head that I couldn't focus and just started cracking up. Also, he put them on his head, not his face. Also, for those who are saying it's pretty standard, I had never experienced this before. So it was new to me. And TBH, even if it is a thing people do, it's still weird to me. Did he pretend to be Bane? A man wanted me to use his mouth as my personal toilet. Long story short. Edit. You guys wanted to know the details. Of course. Some things he noted was that he didn't want me to take a shower for a week so he could lick me clean like a good boy. Then he wanted me to hold my poop in for a week so I could explode, as he said, on his face. He also went to describe how he wanted me to smear my poop on his face with my big ass cheeks and then he wants to lick it all off my butt cheeks. I don't judge. Although that was pretty shocking. He was also exceptionally attractive. I usually don't get SI successful older men that easily. So I knew they had to be a catch to his character, lol. Oh, look at Miss Fancy over here with her own personal toilet all to herself. To hold a Bible open while he jerked off onto it. Afterwards he then wanted me to eat the Bible pages. Yep. You win. Pack it up, boys. We're done here. I was 16 waiting outside a Walmart and some guy older than my dad asked if I wanted a ride for a ride. One time I was walking out of a grocery store and had bought a sack of potatoes for a recipe I was making. As I came out of the store, a homeless man propositioned me for sex. I politely declined. He asked me if he could have one of my potatoes. So I gave him a potato. That guy knows how to negotiate. When I was a 14-year-old girl, I was taking part in a bike ride and a much older man flagged me down and asked me to help him out of his car because he was disabled and needed to pee. I made an excuse and cycled away at Mach 2. If he was genuinely disabled, I feel sorry for him. But I am not going to risk being raped. Edit. Thanks for the positive comments, everyone. I really appreciate them. Right decision if your instincts told you so. He could have asked someone stronger to help him. I had a customer that would come into the club where I worked and pay me to put my stank-ass stripper feet on his face and verbally abuse him. Edit. F-King figures that my highest rated comment would be about stripper feet. You totally did it. Didn't you? Very long story short. My GF posted a Craigslist ad subleasing her apartment. The ad said something along the lines of moving someplace cheaper. Can't get out of contract for next few months. Maybe a few days later she got a text from a guy offering to just pay for her rent. Not live in the apartment or anything, just pay it for her. Holy who is this white knight? We thought. Shti got weird shortly after. He asked for pictures of her feet with timestamps after she showed some interest in his offer. Why? He said to make sure she was actually a woman. Weird. Upon further investigation via a phone call, yes, we actually spoke to this guy, we found out that he essentially comes from a wealthy family and has a very specific fetish in which he has this dumb lady who tells him what to do. He essentially was told to be my GF's financial bitch and spend his money on whatever she asked him to. Definitely a morality test with this one, boys. I told her to do it. Lol. Edit. Once a man asked to drink my bath water. I once got a PM from someone asking to roleplay a scenario where I shrink him, like his entire body, and use him as an LSX toy. I didn't reply. To kiss and bite his neck and twist his nipples while he masturbated and called me mommy. That was all fine until mommy. That's the way I feel about daddy. It's not hot. Edit. Bad grammar. Edit 2. My most popular comment in a while is about not finding daddy SI. Thanks. Not me, but my wife had a guy who wanted to pay her to let him rub her feet while she watched TV and ignored him. Because of the murder afterwards. Freshly 18. A 50-something-year-old man approached me in broad daylight and bluntly asked if I would consider wrapping my hair around his balls. I politely declined. To go to a motel with them for a first meeting and pay me to tickle him. I once gave a guy a ride home in my car. He told me he wanted to tickle my feet, and when I told him that I was very ticklish and I didn't want him to do that, leaned over and started tickling my feet anyway. I was laughing because I am ticklish. That made him think that I liked it. So he kept tickling me. F king tickle rape. Man. Super uncool. To pee on him while he masturbated. He also wanted me to call him racial slurs. Y'all didn't like her. Creepy stranger offered me money to marry his equally creepy brother for a green card. Noped out of that quickly. I used to write erotica for a living. And I'd earn some percentage of my income, not a lot. Exactly. But some, from writing on commission. I got some real kooky requests over time. But the strangest is probably the guy with a genital mutilation fetish who wanted me to write about him being sounded by a Hot Wheels car. The first part was to be about how it felt going in. And the second part, where he wanted me to put the majority of my effort, was to be about the damage the little metal wing mirrors would do to his peen as it came out. I politely declined. At the end of a second date that involved bike riding, my date was helping me bring in my bike into my apartment. He paused for a second in my living room, looked at my coffee table, and said, "Can I have that?" What? This guy just asked for my coffee table that I was currently using as if it was the most normal thing to do. There was no third date. He wanted me to take his money. Like a lot of it. He called it being a financial dominatrix. Didn't do it. I make my own money and I was uncomfortable. Reminded me too much of Spirited Away. Edit. Guys. No face. No face is the reference. Softly grunts while holding out gold coins. I had an ex who really loved it when I held his eyelid open and licked his eyeball. No. A little late and I already mentioned this on another thread. He, white guy, wanted to rent a plantation in Georgia and have me, black woman, be his submissive sex slave. Trapped in a plantation with him as my master. Wanted to tie me up in every room and have his way with me. Probably said this in the second month we started dating. Young, desperate, and naive me was not creeped out enough since I didn't break up with him on the spot. Lick my butthole. But that turned out to be kinda nice. I was walking around in the rain once and took a shortcut through a city park. A barefoot man sitting on a picnic table asked if he could rub my feet. Once. In a bookstore when I was about 15. A man asked me to stand on his hand. Said his doctor recommended it for a medical condition. I was wearing pants. This was a totally normal looking grown man. I said sorry. No one walked away quickly. When I was waitressing, someone offered to pay me for photos of me with my mouth open. And also photos of the inside of my mouth because his fetish was to be shrunken down and swallowed whole. I considered it, since it didn't seem sexual to me. But ultimately decided against it. Did get to talk to him about his fetish after declining though. And he was really open and non-creepy and it was pretty fascinating. I had a regular come into the bar restaurant I worked at. He would always watch me and friended me on Facebook. He sent me a message asking if I would let him drive me to the gorge and then he could rub my back while I slept. Needless to say, he was 86D from ever coming into my work again. To kick him in the balls. Repeatedly. I did. I even threw in a high yak. Full stop. Got matched with a guy on a dating app. He had a diaper fetish. The final line of his bio was, "I have a pink diaper for you if you're interested." Small penis humiliation. I was chatting to a guy on Tinder who seemed cute and funny. He pretty soon asked me if A, I would like to see a picture of his dick, and B, pretend that his dick was smaller than it is and mock him for it. I told him I was not interested and we went our separate ways. My boyfriend wants me to fart more around him because he was concerned I wasn't comfortable farting around him. First time I heard my ex fart was when she was pregnant with our daughter. It was the semi-automatic laughing farts. She was mortified at first, but we both found it hilarious soon after. I say that because after that, she let rip every time the need struck. I was damn proud of her, though. I was smoking outside of my university, and this random guy comes and begins to talk to me. I was an exchange student in Taiwan. It is pretty common for Taiwanese to randomly talk to foreigners in the street. After a bit of chit chat, he told me that he liked my sandals, and that he'd like to take a picture of it. I was a bit weirded out, but I still agreed, thinking that he might want to buy the same ones for his GF or whatever. Then he asks, "Can you take off your shoes please? I'd like to take another picture." A picture of my feet or my shoes? Both. I ended up saying that I had to go to hold his penis while he peed. My husband won't let me no matter how much I ask. When I was about 17, I had a haircut similar to that of Amelie. I was at a grocery store and this 50-something man excitedly comes up to me, tells me my hair is wild, and said it would look even more awesome if he could shave the bottom half of it a bit, which would have made it exactly like Amelie's. He said he was a barber, had his own shop, and that he was so excited that he'd do it for free. Also, last year I was out walking near a busy street when I'll see a van pass me then completely turn around to come up next to me. The driver is another 50-something man and asks if I'd be willing to sell him my hair, which was waist length. He said that he sold wigs. Just minding my business and middle-aged dudes want to get their hands on my hair for some reason. My hair isn't even that great or a unique color. It's just wavy and dark brown. A video of me really wanting to pee lol. A normal meaningful relationship. On a Cupid, a guy from a place I used to live was insistent on meeting me, but when we met he made it abundantly clear that he wanted me to be very smelly and not bathe. It was quite bizarre. Wanted me to bite his dick hard while giving him fellatio. I have a friend who used to be a cam girl. One guy just wanted her to eat cheese. That's it. He didn't want her naked. He just wanted to pay her to eat cheese on camera and describe what it tasted like. To grow a miniature human inside me. I was helping a student with their account, work in college finance, and he pointed to this bag of almonds that I had on my desk and then goes, "Dot. Can I have those almonds?" I said, "Excuse me?" And he repeats, "Can I have those almonds?" I told him no. They were my lunch. He said, "Oh, okay," and then didn't say anything else. It might not sound super weird, but it was super fking weird. If he asked for some almonds, I mean that would be maybe less weird. But no. He wanted the whole bag. Like for me to just hand him this whole bag of almonds. What the FCK? Those aren't cheap, dude. So that's the weirdest thing a man wanted from me. My almonds. Can I have an almond? 100% normal. Can I have some almonds? 70% normal. Can I have all the almonds? Guy I met with my then partner, so we were swingers, wanted to meet up to just suck on my toes. No sex. Just toe sucking and my partner watching. FCK yeah. That went from a weird ask to the best idea ever. He had skill.